Yo, what's up everybody? Good morning, and I'm actually here today to talk about, you guessed it, loss prevention. So the thing that I talked about in our last video was the policies and procedures, and I know I got a lot of backlash from that because it is something that is so generic, but it's something that is so true. And if you think about it, half of the people that you've probably seen not make it are people that didn't understand the policies and procedures, or didn't understand that the policies and procedures could be used against them. So when you watch my videos, understand that yeah, some of that stuff is going to be super generic, but in the past when I've reached the results that I've wanted to reach in a building, all of the things that I talk about have come into play. For example, in today's video, I want to talk about teamwork, because yes, teamwork makes the dream work, all of that other cliche bullshit, but the truth about how teamwork is effective in a loss prevention agent role or in a team, in a building, is that you're only as good as your weakest link. So that means that O.R.C groups identify where it is that they're able to have the most success, the section of your store where they're able to have the most success, the person who's working that they're able to have the most success. Because just like us who are on the sales floor trying to identify external theft is trying to identify us. And one of the ways that they're able to do that is by sending multiple people in. And if you're not, let's just say this, how often do you feel like O.R.C groups are in your building? Once a week? Once a month? Once bi-weekly? Once a day? Who knows? Depends on your area, depends on the store, depends on the amount of success that they're having. It depends on a lot of things, right? Well, just like it depends for us. Are we seeing external theft? Are we seeing internal theft? Are we seeing indicators? Are we seeing defeated devices? Are we finding it in the fitting room? Are we finding it in the front end? Are we finding it in the trash? Where is it that we're losing units? So as I'm going through and just really thinking about what it is that the next step should be that I talk about, I really thought that it was important that it should be the teamwork. But your responsibility and our responsibility is to always use every experience as a learning experience, as a teaching experience, and as a strength driving experience. Because the only way that you're going to really adapt to your store, transition into your store, or be successful in your store is being very, very alert and cautious of all the things that are going on. And the only way that you could really, truly do that is through building an effective team, because you're not in the building 24/7 from open to close. I just think that the one thing that you should really focus on is building an effective team. Stores that are at 3.5%, or stores that are really trending out, like that are not seeing successes in certain areas of the store, they're just really broken, right? The store is not being successful in any way, shape, or form, and you're going into that building. The thing that you have to think about is stopping and saying, okay, you know what? Number one, if you're trending that badly, you have to ask yourself, what is your loss prevention department doing that is not helping them to be more successful? It is just the truth and the matter of the facts that when you have loss prevention agents that are in the building, that are strong, that are knowledgeable, that are putting out results, there aren't often times where you're able to say in a building that store is not doing well. So you have to first look at that first portion. The second thing is the leadership in the building. Is the leadership in the building promoting the programs that are going to help you guys identify external factors, or are they going to help you to prevent external loss? It's just an extra deterrent having somebody on the sales floor who's just being good and greeting and walking around on process, making sure that they're not going to let any unit loss happen while they're in the building. And that's the kind of mentality that you should see from your leadership, promoting those programs, promoting that attitude, promoting that mentality. We all see it, right? And then lastly, your associates. Are the associates contributing to the loss of any items? Are they contributing to any operational loss? Are they contributing to making sure that there's not going to be any kind of unit loss from their end? at all, no matter what, whether it be a unit like a box that has a piece of product in it and they just thought, oh, I thought that was trash, I didn't think that you could do anything with that. In those cases, in those scenarios, it all happens where everybody in the building is driving some sort of shrink, and it's important that not only the loss prevention agents are doing that, but also that operationally we're focusing on that as well. So just building an effective team has so much impact in a building that it's really important that you utilize the toolkits where I have spoken about being a great leader, because some of those things that I talk about have related to my past LP experience and now my current operational experience, having both tie in. But one of the things that, or besides that, another one of the things that you should really focus on is your actual loss prevention agents, and just really thinking about, okay, where is it that this person excels? Where is it that this person needs help with? Where is it that I excel? Where is it that I need help with? And how is it that I could ask for that help, seek that help, or get the answers that I need in order to be more impactful on the sales floor? Whether that be going on YouTube and utilizing videos like mine, or whether that be going through and finding something on your actual handbook or your guide or your training tools that would be able to lead you to a better result. And at the end of the day, you have to think about two things. Are you the leader in the building, or do you want to be a leader in the building? And that's how our mentality should work, because as a leader, you're going to identify team members that need help. You're going to strengthen them. You're going to build them. You're going to teach them. You're going to sit them next to you and say, this is exactly, I don't care if you've already gone through the LP manual. They say that you're ready to be on the sales floor. They tell you that you're ready to actually sit on an interview and go through the process. I don't care about any of that. At some point, you want to be there to actually teach that person and show them exactly what it was that it meant when they read that portion of the manual. It doesn't matter for any LP leader. That's how your mentality should be, because then, having invested that time, you're going to be able to see whether or not that individual is going to be able to be receptive to feedback, reacting to feedback in real time, and actually putting out results, so that when they aren't putting out results, you'll know it wasn't something that you didn't do, lack of training or any of those circumstances, right? You'll be able to follow up accordingly, whether it be all the way up until, you know, separation of company. And this is the actual truth. That's just truth. You need to put the time in as a leader to building your team. And I think that if you think about it like, okay, this person needs to get on board and get on board fast, cool. Some people are going to be able to learn on the fly. Some people are going to be able to react in real time. Some people are going to already have the job experience that's going to help them to be that person. Other people aren't, and a lot of times LP agents that are coming in aren't always going to have 5 years, 10 years experience. It's not an easy role to maintain. It's not an easy job to hold. They're not going to have that experience out, and a lot of times what you're going to have is people that are coming out from the military that want to be police officers, that want to join the military, want to be police officers, or have a BA that have only been in school their whole entire career, that have no knowledge of separating whatever it is that they know to how to be a great loss prevention agent. So it's important for you to really think about this, and when you're building your team, how much time you're actually investing compared to the results that you're getting. You have to be able to determine when it's time to just say, all right, this person right now at this point needs to be followed up with. We need to just follow up and accordingly, however it's going to be, whatever direction your manager, or if you are the manager, decide to go. It's just things that happen. This is all part of building an effective team. However, you also have the other spectrum where you have somebody who's outstanding and doing a lot of great things, and making sure to recognize that person and use those examples in real time to display how much you appreciate that person showing results, getting results, and really driving the results in the building. That's when you move on to the leadership team. And when you think about it like that, okay, I've already crossed off the loss prevention team is on point. We're really getting external activity. We're really buckling down on the internal piece. We've closed out this many cases, and this is where we go, like boom, 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 boom. This is the reasons why I feel like right now it's not the loss prevention team. You then need to move on to your associate awareness, but moving on to your leadership team, because your leadership team is the people that are going to promote all of the programs that base or that drive external peace, that drive the operational loss, is going to drive all of those things. And you need to ask yourself those same questions that you went through with your loss prevention team, all of those things, where you're going to invest the time and then determine what it is that needs to happen next. And it's going to be the same for the associate team. That is how you build an effective team, going through and spending that time. And it might seem like, oh shit, that's not my job, what the hell, that's the store manager's job to make sure that that happens. But at the end of the day, nothing in any job is somebody else's job. But when it comes to being a loss prevention agent and it comes to building an effective team, everybody is in your realm. Because when it comes to parcel checks, when it comes to operational loss, when it comes to marking stuff out of stock, when it comes to a lot of different operational pieces, they're going to need you. And you have to make sure, you need to know that they're on process and that they're doing the right thing. Because I would never want to see that one of my LP agents has spent time with somebody on marking items out of stock that have been on the sales floor that are not going to sell, whatever the reasons may be. I would never want to see that an LP agent has spent time with somebody to do trash removal or anything of that nature, and then I find some stuff in the trash that a manager had thrown in there and said, oh, well, I didn't think that this unit counted. I would be pissed. Because at the end of the day, the responsibility lies on us to make sure that there is absolutely zero unit loss everywhere in the building. Not just the external piece, not just the internal piece, every flipping where. Because you could lose more units on operational loss than you can on external if the circumstance is there and open. It's important for us to really think about how much time we're investing into individuals, but it's also important for us to think about how much time or quality time are we spending to develop and build our team. It is absolutely imperative that you really focus on building the team around you so that you could help and identify as a team twice as many, 4 times as many, 6 times as many, depends on how many people you have in your building, as many lost. That might not make sense, but you get my point. And I think that this conversation that we had today was very, very true to some of the stores that you might be in, where you feel like one of your team members is struggling to help you identify theft, or one of your team members is struggling and putting you in awkward positions where you don't know. There's no 100% certainty, and all of that trust is built off of knowledge, and you really want to make sure that that person is knowledgeable and making the right call, not putting your job at risk. So all of those things factor in when you're thinking about, is this person, do I need to spend time with this person? Is this going to help me to build this person, or am I just going to be barking up a tree that's going to get me nowhere? And you have to be able to do that through the process of elimination, and then end up where you need to end up. But all of these things are vital towards the success of us being the best loss prevention agents that we could be, because at the end of the day, you could be in a building and you could prevent loss. That's cool. I appreciate that. But at the end of the day, you stopping external theft is not going to take your shrink from a 3.5 to a 0.5. It's not likely that there is that much external theft. There is internal theft and there's operational loss that's happening, and you can't be in 17 places at once to be able to identify all of it. So really think about having that mindset where you think first, where is it that we went wrong, instead of thinking, what is it that he did wrong? Let's go.